Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I wanted to get one more review in this year before we get moved into the new house. I mentioned the other day, it's probably done with drones until we get moved in, but I might do another car, and that's what I'm going to do today because I'm really excited about this little 1/18 scale brushless, that's the key, brushless little truck from Eachine. Is the EAT or EAT10. This is a little 1/18 scale, again, brushless truck. Let me show you it right here. And it looks to me like, this looks a lot like the PX Toys. I think PX Toys, Inazi also rebrands these, and I think that's what Banggood has done as well. It looks a lot like the little PX Toys Sandyland truck that I reviewed several years ago, except for this is brushless. I've not seen those other cars in the brushless. I've always seen those with little like 390 brushless, little 390 brushed motors on those. This is a little brushless truck, so I want to take the body off here and I'll show you guys what's underneath this. We'll just pull the body clips off and I'll show you what's underneath. So while I'm doing that, I'll let you guys know, obviously I'm going to get moved in, and once I get moved into the new house, I'm going to set up a studio there, and we'll get back to more table reviews and just going to revamp the channel. So I'm really excited about how 2021 should be with the channel. But anyway, here it is, and you can see here's the little brushless motor, uses a Dean's plug, so it's got a full proportional steering on the servo there. Pretty neat looking little truck. Here's your Esc Receiver combo with your power button. And one interesting thing that I noticed was it says brushless Esc, and this little, you're not probably able to see this in my camera, 25 amp 2S 3S LiPo. So they claim that this thing can actually run off a 3S. Now you always run a risk when you go up in voltage, but at least it says you can. So you should be able to, if you can find a small enough pack, and boy, we'll see how fast it is on 2S. It's gonna be considerably faster on 3S. You just don't usually see this stuff rated right out of the box. Say, hey, you can put 3S on this. And it's got two little hookups here for LED lights. A lot of these trucks will have little LED lights that you can put in like the bumper. This one doesn't look like it has any lights that come with the Eachine version. And then this little tray, I'll have to take this out. This is where your battery goes. I'll show you guys. It comes with the 2S LiPo, like I said. It's a 7.4 volt, 1200 milliamp. And this is a LiPo, not a lithium ion. Some of these little cars will come with a lithium ion pack. And then here is the charger. Of course, like many of these, you're just going to charge off of the balance plug. So it's going to take, the instruction says 250 minutes. So if it's fully drained, you're going to take you 2.5 hours. So it's going to take quite a long time. It has a little green light that comes on, and it's red, and then a green light will come on to let you know that it is fully charged. So it's going to be pretty slow. Again, as I always say with these, if you have a hobby grade charger with a Dean's plug, you're going to charge it up in maybe half an hour or so, and it'll do a truer, a better charge. Interesting enough, the instruction manual, I still have it in the box. It has an exploded view and it shows all your parts. They mention also to try to keep this battery at storage voltage. I thought that was interesting. They recommend 3.85 volts per cell, and they tell you need a voltmeter to be able to do that. That's interesting because that's absolutely true. And of course, a hobby grade charger, you can just set it to storage voltage when you're not in use, so your LiPo does not go bad over time. When they're fully discharged, and especially when they're fully charged and it's sitting around, they'll swell and they will go bad, and they can actually become dangerous. So you got to keep that in mind. And here is some just a little baggie comes in here with some extra body clips, a Phillips screwdriver, and a metal, looks like an aluminum wheel wrench, a 4-way wrench there. That's pretty cool that they give you that. And here's the controller. The controller actually is pretty nice. It's got the foam grip. I'm always a fan of foam grips. It's more comfortable in your hands. Your fingers are less likely to slide. Your forward and your reverse and your brake here. It's pretty standard pistol grip, but it does have your servo reversing switches. Here's your on and off, and a steering dual rates, throttle dual rates, and then your steering trim. So it's nice that it has several of those features, and it takes 3 AA batteries here on the bottom of this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the battery in here, and then we'll take it out, and then we'll do a test drive here, let you guys see how this little truck goes. It should be, the Sandylands, the little brushed ones are pretty quick, so I can only imagine how quick this guy ought to be on a brushless motor. So let me get that all connected, and I'll be right back for the test drive, guys. All right, guys, I got the Eachine EAT10 or EAT10 little brushless 1/18 scale truck, ready now to take it out now for the test drive. You can easily just reach inside of here and turn it, I'm hitting the throttle there, and press the power button in there next to the antenna, and then it just fires up and you're ready to go. So let's take it out now and see how the little Eachine truck does. This ought to be pretty quick because I really like the sandy lands. Yeah, that definitely seems a little bit quicker than the brushed version. Whoa, rolled it over. And these are pretty small, so you're not going to have the ability to go over, or through thick stuff as easily as a larger wheelbase truck. Keep that in mind. It's pretty abrupt to stop. And it is a few things I didn't mention when we were over there, which I'll discuss right now, is this is four-wheel drive. So this has full dog bones on the front and back, so there's a drive shaft down the middle. And this is just friction shocks on those blue springs. They're not oil filled. You can definitely get oil filled shocks for these. I don't know offhand the length in millimeters, but that'll make a difference. It won't be so bouncy. So that's the first upgrade I would do. Everything else should be good to go. I'm sure it's got full ball bearings in there. But you can see this grass is not real tall here, so it's having no problem just flying through it. A lot of these trucks nowadays, they tend to stick with four-wheel drive. All the trucks that I have, I can only think of one. My HBX ground crusher is just rear-wheel drive. The only one I can think of that's not four-wheel drive. So I kind of just almost took it for granted and should have mentioned that there when I was doing the overview. And it's, it's just friction shocks. But again, friction shocks are pretty common at this price point. But again, you can easily go up to oil-filled shocks are pretty cheap. I'm thinking that probably the oil-filled shocks that I've stuck on the 1/16 scale HBX 16889, those will probably fit that size. I just don't remember offhand. That was 70 or 80 millimeters. I'm trying to just go by memory here, guys. A moment ago when I was over here, I gave it throttle and the truck kind of just didn't go for just a fraction of a second. Almost like it was, like it sort of had lost its signal. It was only from right here to there. It seemed odd. I just want to let you guys know that. That's why I may have stammered around there for a moment. It is only 3 AA batteries, so this controller is not going to probably have quite the range of some of them, but it should be better than that. So far though, I've not had any problems since then. May have just been a small glitch or interference or something. This is 2.4 gigahertz, so it ought to have pretty good range. Speaking of that not the ground crusher, but the 16889, this is really popular, that 1/16 scale. Very similar to this. It comes with just friction shocks, four-wheel drive. That was a very popular truck that came out just a little over a year ago. And that truck, I did have range issues. I think it only took 2 AA's, and both of them ones I had didn't have good range, and the range was pitiful. But I was able to use the ground crusher controller with it. I know that one I think only took 2 AA's, the ground crusher controller, and I had no problem with range on that controller. But yeah, this one seems fine now, I think. So I don't know what that was. Yeah, this is quick and it handles really nicely. It's got good power, which you expect on a brushless system with a 2S LiPo. When I got into the RCs again and started running my channel, of course, up until you guys, I'm sure if you've been a subscriber for a while, you know that up until a week or so ago, I was RD's drone reviews. But with all the drone regulations and just it's getting tougher to fly this stuff, and the fact that I do a lot of RC cars and boats, I felt it was more appropriate just to go to RD's RC reviews. But when I got into the RC again, I've been in RC, I'm 49. I've been doing this since the mid 80s. It's changed a lot, but the brushless stuff, as it's really became popular, was still really expensive. And now we're seeing the cheaper clones, and the technology's come down in price. We're seeing these brushless systems now like this. They're really inexpensive. So we're not, what I'm getting is we're not going to see brush stuff except for the really basic, really dirt cheap stuff. You're going to see more and more brushless stuff now because they can make it so cheap now that you don't need to spend $200 on a brushless ESC and motor combo. They can put an ESC receiver and brushless motor in one of these trucks and sell the whole kit for half that price. Yeah, this is great. Anyway, I don't want to keep blabbing off subject, but I decided to just touch on that for a moment. Yeah, this is great. So again, I would upgrade to oil-filled shocks, and you're good to go. And if you can find a small 3S LiPo to fit in there with a Dean's plug, which is pretty much the common plug most ground vehicles use, then you ought to get good to go, because it says it can do it. Now it's 25 amp, so that's not, that's not real high. So a small capacity 3S LiPo, you'd probably be okay. There was a bit of hesitation right there again. It could just be this pistol grip. It's a little bit stiff on this controller, and it could just be something to do with the way I'm pressing it. And the steering wheel, see there, it kind of did it again on me right there. Huh. The steering wheel is a little bit stiffer than I like. It just takes a little getting used to. I like a little looser one. You have to apply a little more pressure to steer it. But it's a good controller, and again, these little hesitations I'm getting at times may just be getting used to this controller and how much you got to press them. Some of them are more sensitive. This is pretty sensitive, but some controllers, will have a little give before they'll actually kick in the throttle, depending just how sensitive the controller is. The better controllers, the hobby grade ones that you buy separately, are going to be really, really sensitive. Yeah. This is a nice little truck. If you guys are interested in this, I'll include a purchase link in the video description to it. If there's any coupons, I'll include them. This is not real expensive. I think this, and I'm guessing again here, I know the price and then I forget the price, but I think it was somewhere in that $80 to $100 range, but I don't think it's way off that. Which again, for a complete brushless, ready to run truck on a 2S LiPo like this, that's hard to beat. Just a few other ones, the HBX 16889, I think the SG 1602 Pro is a rebranded HBX. And then the Zenlahong, like Q series, like a Q903. Those are 1/16 also in brushless in this price range. But you can start to get them now for this 100, even under 100. I've seen the HBX was actually around, I think it was as low as 60 something on sale last year. They were probably selling it at a loss. And it, you can get them like that for this price, guys. Now we got, as usual, I got rocks up here I got to clean out. Got leaves all up in there. But yeah, this is a nice little truck. Really like it. I knew I would because I could tell it was very similar to those PX toys. So just going to brushless is going to be perfect. So yeah, this is great. Highly recommend it. I will include a link again down in the video description if you guys are interested in checking this out. If anything you do buy from my links, it's going to be the same cost as the website, but it does help support the channel. So it helps give a little bit to help me run this channel, and most importantly, it helps me be able to get more products to review, because you guys know I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to try to get sales. So like some of the really big channels have been notorious to doing, I'm going to tell you the truth. If it's junk, I'll let you know. I could not lie to you guys about something like that just to try to generate sales. That's really rotten. Used car salesman mentality. All right, guys, enough jibber jabbering. If you guys are interested, check the video description for a purchase link. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and make sure that you subscribe. Click the bell so you know when I do upload new videos, guys. And as always, have a wonderful day.